And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. I had to take a breath before I said it, so it's a big title. Jason Garcia and Amy McVay-Tellez back with us. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, doing good.
Good deal. Life's summer. It's hot.
No, it's not too hot.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate seeing. This is why. I'm like, what happened to monsoon season? Weren't we supposed to get like a couple more raindrops? All we got was some humidity and 100-degree weather. So
drops. That was it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, first off, before we talk about everything else, how's life at the home at the JP White House?
It's going, moving.
Nothing.
Moving,
No trees have hit
always.
it. No leaks. No foundations collapsed. Nothing.
Not yet.
Nothing.
Well, to be very literal, and we haven't talked about that,
Yeah.
there is a full tarp on the second floor of our largest room. And yes, there are concerns. And one of the good things is we haven't had sprinkles.
Yeah.
Because the last time we had a large rain, there was a lot of water. We took care of it immediately. But yes, we do have roof
that's
concerns.
a new roof,
so
too,
it is.
isn't
So
it? It is.
that is not.
Oh,
You
that
know
part
what
is.
I'm
one
saying?
part.
That's
Oh,
part.
okay.
See, so that's not. So when we talk about the museum, we don't have a new roof.
Gotcha.
We have new roof pretty much everywhere else.
Gotcha, but
at
that
the museum,
part it doesn't.
That's
Okay.
right. So for those of you who are wondering, we're talking about it. Yes, we are still taking money, collecting for others.
All the preventative maintenance that we do is very expensive, but we keep up with it as best we can.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of,
That's
point
so
of why we
important.
do some of the fundraising,
Exactly,
when we
yes.
have these things, because, well, all of you homeowners out there know,
Yes.
it costs a lot of money to maintain and
Maintain.
upgrade a house. And then let's put that caveat, this is a historical building, and you can't just slap
Right.
up some drywall and
That's
call it good. You
No,
gotta,
not even close.
yeah, you gotta be more prestigious. I mean, you know what? Yesterday, and I was kind enough to be invited for the grand opening of Cahoon Armory over
Yes,
on the NMMI.
beautiful facility.
Beautiful facility, but talking with the general and talking with Colonel Barone, the AD over there, and talking to some of the folks there. When the conservators go into that,
Yes.
just about any
Yes.
building on that campus, I think the general said all but 3 buildings on that campus are
Totally
are-
renovated.
or historical landmarks.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think there's only like 3 buildings on that
Wow.
entire campus that aren't historical landmarks. The rest are historical landmarks. So anytime they renovate, remodel,
Yes.
it's a huge deal, a whole thing. And the JP White House is no different. It
That's
is
true.
the same thing. Anytime we have to do a roof replacement or any kind of major renovations to it, we have to. There's certain rules because it's historical.
Oh,
So
yeah.
certain construction techniques and things you have to stick to as close as possible the way it was originally done and all that. Materials, obviously, some materials and things it's impossible to replace.
Right.
Asbestos and some of the things they used back in the day. We're like, I probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Well, then as you talk about that, you having to stick to these rules and regulations, and that drives the expense up a little bit more
Yeah.
and limits who can do the work.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then exactly. Who can do the work? And by the way, we're in COVID, which means supply demands 3 times higher than what it is. Availability of people to actually sit down and do the stuff is trickier. So that's really been probably the biggest hurdle that the Historical Society's been fighting. I mean, on top of keeping the museum available to people and all the things that you were doing during COVID to have that happen, but at the same time. Our biggest struggle has been maintaining of that facility, keeping it available for the next generations to come see it.
And I'll tell you, one of our biggest challenges is to prioritize what's most important because, as you know, we don't have just an open checkbook to do all of the projects at the same time.
We have to prioritize the need by need and by,
We have
expense.
wants. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We have wants and we have needs.
Oh, yeah.
And then the list within the list.
Yes.
That's a numerical order of the wants and the needs.
Sure.
And we don't even really talk about the wants.
No, very rarely.
It's just a long-term goal.
I feel like it has been a lot of
have
putting
goals.
fingers in plugs the last
What
couple
we
of years.
want
You know
is
what
to
I mean?
reduce the needs list.
Yes.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
But I can say this as a board member myself and sitting, we have a board and a group of people that have been amazing stewards and getting the most bang for our buck when it comes to doing this stuff. We've had many people that have helped, and
A lot of generous people. That's true.
yeah,
A lot of
not even
generous
just financially,
people.
but just making calls, making connections, just
Yes.
helping that way too to
Yep.
kind of streamline some things when we run into problems and
Right.
stuff. We just have an amazing group, and we thank every one of those.
We do thank everyone else. And mentioning that, Mike, I think it's important. What a memorial tribute to David, our sweet David, that took care of our home
Yeah,
for so many
we
years.
lost
I would
kind of
like to say thank you to all the generous donors, because in loving memory, his family requested that people make donations to the Historical Society in his name. And again, he's still blessing.
Yeah,
through that
I know the
name.
family
That's-
wants to be kind of private on this, but just to kind of give
Yes.
people background a little bit,
Yeah.
we had a gentleman that lived in the carriage house, and he was, he just lived there to pay rent to live there, but by default, he kind of became our watcher of the
Almost Mr.
property. And,
everything.
yeah, so this gentleman would constantly be working the property, helping
Right.
and making things, and we lost him here a
We
couple
did.
weeks ago. And not only was a great man, but he was a great asset to the Historical Society.
just a great human,
So
a
we're
great
missing him as a human, and we're missing him as
We are.
as a
But
support
thank
of the
you to
Historical
the family, and
Society.
his legacy continues because we continue to get donations in that will be helping us. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
amazing.
Absolutely. So, before we get into Heritage Dinner here,
Uh-huh.
we would like to extend that invitation. If you want to get more involved with the
Mm-hmm.
Historical Society, we could use all the volunteers that would like to
better
be out
believe
there.
it.
Whether it's serving as a docent in the
Mm-hmm.
museum itself, or working with some of the staff in the archive facility,
Mm-hmm.
helping organizing, categorizing, doing the daily upkeep of maintaining an archive facility. Or it could be, hey, I love gardening.
Or mowing the grass.
Yeah,
It was, we had
I love gardening. I love painting.
Right.
You want me to paint some trim
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Our sweet Joe. Sweet Joe comes in every Monday.
Yeah.
And he works every Monday with Fred. And thank you to Fred. Fred oversees all this. But what you can help the Historical Society at home folding brochures.
Yeah.
You can come in. You can be behind a locked door if you're not really a people person.
Yeah.
You can be outside. You can be in the archives. The
there's
list
plenty of things
is
to
long
do.
and distinguished, and including just with your whole family getting involved. We love families to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We want to encourage
We
the
have a few of
families
those.
to give tours. Jason is so amazing with
Yeah.
his daughter.
Mom, dad,
to
the
come
kids,
through
they're-
and help.
we have a couple
Make it
families
a
like
family experience to really embrace history.
Right.
Absolutely. There is a lot of great opportunities to go. And let's face it, there is perks that come with being,
boy.
because you get to peel back behind the curtain. You get to see, not the parts the public don't get to be a part of. You get to, learn things about that maybe you don't get in a tour, as
That's
you're
right.
doing it, and you do the years like, that, and you're like, and so if you become a docent, then you can work that into your tours.
We
But
belie-
I mean,
we
you
believe
get to-
in perks, golden opportunities, or AKA blessings.
Yeah, or
right,
if
Mike?
like the archives facility, you love digging through and
Oh, yeah.
categorize.
Yeah.
If you're an organizer or that type of person, I'm sure that committee would love to have
sure.
some help.
And it's amazing what things you uncover just to helping. You
Yeah.
learn a whole lot more than what you see just on display.
Yeah,
You have no idea what all we
It's
have.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then
It-
the people that come through there.
the Historical Society is a huge treasure for Southeast New Mexico, and I know a lot of people like, oh yeah, it's a house with a bunch of old paintings and things or pictures, and I was like, but you got to think of it in terms of. We have like the Smithsonian Institute, right? And the Smithsonian does an amazing job of chronicling and keeping U.S. and world history.
World, yeah.
You know what I mean? They, if you want to know what things that happen in this country, they've got things there that you can go back and peel back layers and learn. The Historical Society is that for Southeast New
It is.
Mexico. The history of this part of the country. You're not going to find a more concise collection of information about Southeast New Mexico, history, lore, the whole thing, than you're going to find in the archive facility at the Historical Society. And I'm not trying to, play scary, devil's, oh my good, gloom and doom, but what happens if we don't support that? What happens if, say, the Historical Society tomorrow runs out of money and they got to close that house and they got to close that archives facility? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to all that stuff? We're going to lose it to history. People are going to buy it off piecemeal. It's going to go back to attics and where it came from, things like that, and lost to history.
Yeah.
And And I think for that reason alone, it's so important to preserve. So when all of us are long gone, those generations will learn about what was going on here in Southeast New Mexico.
Yep.
And that's why the Historical Society is important.
Right.
And that's why the J.P. White House is important, because how many generations of Roswellians
Many.
have learned what turn of the century homes and what it was like there, because they were taking tours through the J.P. White House and learning about, butter didn't come from the store and, all those kind of things. That's through the Historical
Well, we get a
Society.
lot of parents that said, I came through here in 4th grade, and then
That's
they're
right.
bringing their children through.
Yeah.
And
That's
so it's pretty cool.
And a friendly
Exactly.
reminder, while school is starting, for all high school seniors that are coming through, we want to encourage them to get involved with the Historical Society, because we will definitely have scholarships coming up. And
Yes.
history clubs. Nothing would bring greater joy to the legacy of Elvis Fleming to know we've got history clubs at all the schools in Roswell.
Yeah, I know.
And private.
I know
They're
what-
not public or private.
I know
schools.
Goddard and Roswell have kind of gotten theirs
Well,
going.
and
or
it's
they-
hard through this life
COVID's
of COVID
kinda,
and
yeah,
stuff.
it
We
took a
kind of,
hit.
well, we're doing things a little bit differently, but that doesn't mean it's bad. But we
Sure.
want to encourage.
You just got to learn new ways to
that's
kind
right. That's right.
of make the magic
And arts,
happen.
we're just talking about that. So any way we can get involved.
Well, and then of course another way, like maybe you're not one to get your knees in the dirt or any of that kind of stuff, but yeah, we need your bucks too. Financially, we
Yeah.
need
Coins.
we whether it's loose change, you got a
Yep.
buck on you, come visit. Our
There's a
bottle
lot
doesn't
of-
get as much attention because we
There's
don't
a
get as
lot
much
of drop-off
attract.
locations from Roswell Seed, Roswell
yeah.
Livestock.
But are all of them the Coca-Cola bottles or some?
Most of them.
I think there
Some
might
of
be
the
one or
restaurants
two.
have smaller, like Peppers. We
Okay.
have one.
It's
and
kind of like the
Straight.
R2D2
We have a lot of different drop-offs.
post office box out in
Yes.
front of. There's only
Yes.
400 of those in the country. That's a very
Yes.
rare piece, but it's kind of most of them look like blue, but occasionally there's a few other weird oddities
We've got
in it.
a lot of throughout Roswell.
But if you see the big loose change thing on the front, that's for the Historical Society.
Those
Whatever,
things.
50 cents, $2, whatever you drop in there, all of that helps. And we've collected a couple grand off those already.
We have, and thank you to
Since we
Pioneer
started.
for partnering with us
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
very
to help make us-
appreciated.
That's been very helpful for like some of
Literally
our
every penny
events happening at the thing,
Right.
covering book fairs and things when we have those. and-
Anytime you hear of us doing an event, let that be a reminder to bring your change. if
Yeah.
that makes-
By the way, before we get into Heritage Dinner, I know I was out of town this weekend. How did the historic book fair go?
It was steady.
Yeah, Saturday.
It was steady.
Pretty
I think
busy?
there was a lot of things going on. We discussed. I think that a lot of people were worn out from the week before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we weren't as busy as
UFO
we normally
festival.
were, I think everybody was either hot or worn out. You
Gotcha.
know?
It was a short, quick event, but it was,
That's right.
yeah, we had a good, steady
Good,
full
good.
of people.
People
come
that were
through and-
determined to get books came,
and
got
I'm
their
telling
stuff,
you,
and
telling you what, there were some great deals on the table.
They're really.
It's hard to not pick them up.
if you're a collector or into that stuff, yeah, that's our problem.
Yeah.
Is we see it and they're like, and then we get home and your family's like, why do you keep bringing this stuff home?
There are some treasures, though. You know, there are
Absolutely.
books that you just can't
Okay.
go to Amazon and purchase.
Well,
but
that's
by
just
the way,
it.
the new books, Donna's new book, John's new book, we've got them available. So call the museum at 622-8333. We'll ship, send them to you, have them autographed, and all that kind of stuff.
and if you're trying to get younger readers, your teens and
Yes,
stuff,
yeah.
the latest two books by
That's
both
right.
of them, by John.
For sure.
John's a novel, and is this his first real
I believe that's right.
like novel, like
novel.
mostly
Well, and
everything's
that's
work
it.
of
I'm
nonfiction.
pretty sure.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of history interwoven in
Right.
this, but in essence, it's the stories told through the mind of a 12-year-old. So you're going to be, and I believe Donna's book on the ghostly. Oh shoot! It just
Right.
but that's kid centric too. Now,
Yep.
don't get me wrong. Adults can read these, and
For
you're going to
sure.
get. Think of it like Harry Potter. It's multi levels where
Right.
the adults
Yes.
are like, "That's pretty good. I liked it." Even though it's for kids, but it really does
Follow
resonate
us
with
on
adults.
Facebook or Instagram, and it has more information about both those books.
Good deal. Yeah, but they're both and if those don't strike you fancy, we got all their other books there
Oh, yeah.
too.
Bunch
So
of treasures.
so if you want to get back into Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett and all that, or Wicked Women and all that, we got those books there for it too. And of course Elvis's books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones we have left. I think there might. Are we sold out completely on any of those? Or
Well, the treasures.
I know
the-
there's a
the
couple that are more
original
sought after than
treasures,
others.
Yes. Well, and Roundup on the Pecos is a true treasure.
That's the holy grail of
but the treasures,
his books.
the number one, we're very limited on.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have the archive one, and that's it.
Well, we have very few.
Yeah. But be on the lookout for our next book fair here.
We
It's
have a lot of events coming up. As a matter of fact, that'll be posted on our website. Go to events, whether it's the next blood drive we have coming up. I know we're going to do a spooky Southeast New Mexico talk in October with Donna and John.
Nice.
That'll be fun, right before Halloween. So
Good
that's
deal.
something that I just put on there. So go to our events calendar and just link. I think I was just communicating with her this morning. If you can't see it today, go tomorrow. Just some fun upcoming events.
very cool. But the big event we'd like to put on people's radars is coming up here August 25th. It is, we'll call it a stroll down memory lane heritage dinner drive-through fundraising event. We're basically, how many years now have we been doing the heritage dinner? It's
Only 40.
only 40.
Right.
Okay, I was like 30. I couldn't remember the number.
Well, 1981 was the very
first one. Okay, I was thinking 30s, but 40 now. We're up to 40. So we're honoring 40 years of Heritage Dinner recipients, basically. So we've got a very long and distinguished list of some excellent people, organizations, entities, companies that we've honored over the years through the Heritage Dinner, and now we're kind of taking a look back and saying we're honoring all those folks. We're going to have we'll talk more about some of the festivities that are going to be going through the drive-through event. We're still kind of adding and working some of those angles now, but we got the part most people really care about. The food plan.
Oh, yeah.
The part that's like, yeah, that's great. What's for dinner?
And of course,
you're doing stuff great. What's for dinner?
Well, I haven't had breakfast, and it's already making me hungry.
So, but once again, we've partnered with our folks at Peppers here to provide a delicious meal, as they do every single time we have them help us out here. But it's going to be August 25th, and we kind of gotten people trained pretty good now how it works. It'll be just like before, where about 5:30 you can come to the Historical Society, pick up your tickets. We'll have some swag and opportunities and things, maybe some entertainment and some things,
Maybe
happening.
some Mike Winters hanging around in the parking lot.
Right.
That's right. My legs, I've been shaving, so just kidding.
You never know. It could be a mystery. You never know.
It could be.
Come through at your own risk.
But we're gonna do all the fun and things we normally do, and then you'll take your tickets over to Peppers. You get your meals, and then you can go home, and we'll probably have some stuff on the radio, I think, that you can listen to, and more to come as we kind of hammer out all those details. But August 25th, it's happening, and and it's just like before, where you can get a box, or you can basically buy a table of 8, which include your. But it's actually feeds
bundle.
5 boxes, feeds 10 people. And we'll deliver it to you. Even John, unless you don't want John. If you say don't send me John, we'll say all right, we'll give you somebody else.
John's has his regular people now. Most of our board knows our regular people.
Sure.
So they're like, oh, hey.
They got their roots. They're like paper boys. They just know their roots and know the people on the route. Yeah, but. We'll be doing all of that again here too, but we do want to put this on your radar now. We want to start getting people to start getting their reservations done, because August 8th, which is only a couple weeks away,
is not that far away.
Is the deadline to RSVP. And I know we do this every time, and I'm sure we're going to do it again because we want to make sure. We would love to. It would be great if Adam and his folks, we could say on the 8th. Here's our tally.
There you go.
That's it.
It's set in stone. I know that's not going to happen. I know it's not. I've been to a few meetings. All right, I know how this works. But let's if you guys can, let's go ahead and get those orders in. And again, this helps us. All this money goes to helping fix those roofs, to help with these programs.
Right.
All the stuff we do now, scholarships, that comes from generous donors. This money doesn't go to the scholarships. This actually goes to fixing roofs and making sure everything works, keeping the lights on, and then providing out education and outreach, our Sunday fun days and book fairs, all the things we have events that this helps pay for those things.
We want to add some enticement. We have worked hard on a commemorative booklet. And it will only be available to those individuals who purchase dinner tickets.
Here's a kind of a rough sampling of some numbers.
Right, and that's just the cover. But just to give you a little sample, we've got some one-of-a-kind, unique opportunities you will not see anywhere else in this commemorative booklet. And so we want to remind individuals to pay it forward. But I hear this all the time. I'm not going to be in town. We want to encourage you to purchase a dinner box, and we'll pay it forward. We've paid it forward in the past to volunteers and special people that have impacted our lives or helped us, are working diligently on a regular basis. We love to pay it forward. That's part of this.
Yeah, remember that time?
It's not about us. It's not about us.
Absolutely.
Eating. It's about blessing others.
Absolutely. Remember that time your dog knocked down the neighbor's fence? Remember that time that the weed eater accidentally tore down your neighbor's rose bush there? Remember those things happen? They happen,
Right.
Maybe say, hey, I'm sorry about that. Here's a meal from for you and Joy from Peppers. Pay it forward that way, and
right.
that's or like you said, maybe if you're a business or buy you the table, and we'll deliver.
Treat the employees,
and we'll deliver to where you want to go. You want 2 meals here and 2 meals. All right, we'll take care of that for you.
And I do want to give a special thank you to Xcel Energy, that was a past recipient. They were past known as the Southwestern Public Service Company. They were honored in 2017. They just became a corporate sponsor.
Oh, good.
So shout out to them. I think it's important to know that they're not just in it to help, but they are literally part of our history. They literally help bring lights to Roswell, Mexico. Yeah. We've literally taken a trip down memory lane with them.
Mike and everybody there at Xcel have been strong supporters for the historicals and many other facets of our community, by the way.
Almost everything.
But they've been a real
important
friend of the Historical Society, and we thank them for them and many others. We have other people and organizations that every time something they're there and support us.
100%.
We can't do what we do without that support. So we thank those folks, and we're asking to enjoy some delicious food again with us and buy some dinners and all this. But I point you back to what I started this conversation with, is what happens. That we're doing this because if we can't guarantee the future of that building and that facility and what's inside of it. This is how we guarantee the future of that. So this is why I ask you every couple times a year to come and enjoy food and drive through and come do all this, because we want to honor everybody, and that's part of it too. I don't want to get lost in the please buy dinners. Right. We do want to honor, because we have some amazing people and amazing organizations. Not all of them are still with us after 30 or 40 years, but all of them have made huge impacts in our community and continue to do so in many cases. And we would love to just remind everybody that these great people are the reason we have such wonderful things in this community.
For sure.
And let's remember that. And so, on that note, we want you to remember all that and then buy a bunch of food.
That's right.
Or pay it forward or make it notice.
Exactly. I guess we should do the menu, huh? If we're dangling a carrot of food, I should probably
if you're Mike Winters, that is high. That's very important.
And I just had this conversation where I was on vacation. People were like, "Hey, what'd you do?" I was like, "I ate a lot," and they were like, "Wait, I base everything on food. What was the food like?"
Well, that's vacation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, "Oh, I went to Vegas," and it's like, "What'd you do?" I was like, "I loved the place that had the burger. I loved the place that had the So, but anyway, the menu. Adam's prepared a very delicious menu here. Of course, something that I think at this point we just have to have it, because I don't know if I opened my mouth or someone else did, but the shrimp for two appetizer, those every time I get them, I don't know why they call them shrimp. They're not. They're big. But they got the shrimp. So they'll come with that. And then we've got one beef entree with braised beef tips. Beef tips. That's a big California thing. Tri-tip and beef tip. I mean, I don't know why it's not bigger everywhere, but Californians love that stuff, but I'll eat it. Or if you're not into beef, you're in the wrong part of the country, but so be it. Or the one chicken entree, which is a spinach and artichoke grilled chicken. So you're going to get a beef tip and then a spinach and artichoke grilled chicken. Ooh, that sounds good too. Served with red new mashed potatoes. I love those. Summer squash medley, rolls and butter. And dessert for two. And I I don't know what the dessert is, but every
I've never
time
been disappointed.
well, and that's just it. Every time I get the dessert, and I'm like, I'm not, because I'm a chocolate guy, and so it's usually a fruit thing, and I'm like,
Yes, I'm fruity. I'm not chocolate. No.
but you know what I mean? I tend to lean that way. So, but then I see it, I'm like, and then I'm like, all right, and then I take a bite, and I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty good, and then I eat like the whole thing. I do it every single time. I
Don't
like,
eat both of
it's
them.
just, it's a cherry thing. It's not chocolate. I do my little 10-year-old move, and then I devour the entire thing and be like, yeah, it's good. I do it every time. But we want to put it on your radar. August 25th. It'll be that evening of, which is a Thursday evening. We kind of usually do it on a Thursday evening that way, because the whole idea is to get you. You know, I know. Thursday night's good TV night. That's when they put all the good shows on Thursday night. So you're going to want to be home. You're like, why do they keep putting these events on Thursday? That's when my Big Brother comes on, or that's when whatever comes on.
Get your meal and go sit down and watch the show.
Exactly.
And you don't have to cook.
5:30 by 6:30 you're eating.
That's right.
And then you're ready to watch your shows.
Ready to watch the shows.
Yeah.
You can go to the website at roswellnmhistory.org to place your reservation.
Yep.
Make any type of donation, or if you have any questions or are not familiar, if this is your first time.
Yeah.
I know a couple of our board members who know they're not familiar, so we're kind of walking them through.
Yeah.
You know, we're used to doing this, but it's a little bit different. But I think once you get into the flow of things, they are a lot of fun. Somebody asked me just yesterday, why are you still doing a drive-through? Well, you know what?
Because people like it.
They love it.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're not going to go back to the good old days.
Yeah.
But these are good old new days.
Sure. And then this is we're being honest here, right? We're being honest on this. You know, when and I know that because we all have experienced this at one point or another. We get, you know, people are coming at you like, hey, you want to buy tickets to this, want to buy, and it's usually going to an event, and I get it. People love to eat, people love to drink, that's what people love to do. I get it.
Right.
And so, but at the same time, people are like, oh, I really don't want to. And then they generally will go and have a good time, but most people go kicking and screaming with a few exceptions. But
there's
most people,
so many competing events.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So people are like, we'll go for a few minutes. You know, I mean, there's the whole, but this, people literally don't have to get dressed up. They don't have to put. They don't
Come
have
into
to.
your pajamas.
And they're kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get a beef dinner or chicken dinner, and all I gotta do is go through drive. I was gonna do that anyway through some restaurant,
right?
Exactly.
And now I'm supporting a historical society. I'm getting a fancy meal here at home, and I'm watching.
And we love to deliver. Somebody said, "Oh, we'll help you out and come." Which, don't get me wrong, it's fun for people to drive through.
We don't mind delivering.
We're thrilled to deliver.
We have we're pretty organized.
Fun.
Weirdly enough,
our board members really enjoy that. We want to have deliveries.
Yeah, and I'm not usually a delivery. I'm usually there, but I have had done delivery.
And
it's fun.
When you walk up and you deliver, they're so happy to have you, deliver their food.
Yeah, most people are like, I ain't got no money, I don't want nothing. I'm like, I just got food, dude.
That's right. It's a lot of fun, and we're working on the goodie bags. There will be other. It's just fun.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a lot of fun. And Tina Williams will be performing there.
Right.
So if you want, Tina and Kent will be there.
So it'll be just Tina, or will be some of the band and everything?
Kent Taylor and Tina.
Okay.
Thank you. She just messaged yesterday, so I'm just announcing that because it's fun. It's just a nice part of when you're driving through to hear that music, and they're part of our family anyway. And
it sets the ambiance.
It really does.
And usually at 5:30, 6 in the evening, it's not dark yet, so it's still daylight, but it's cooler.
Yeah,
so have your windows rolled down, and you'll hear little Kent and Tina.
One of the beautiful things about owning a historical house on a historical property, it has historically old trees, which are big shade trees.
Oh, yeah.
And so about 5:36, it's quite pleasant usually around that area of the evening. You kind of, I know it's a drive-through, but you kind of want to get out and sit on the grass for a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and of course, if you want to see some of the stuff, like, you're more than welcome to park across the street and walk to see the flagpole and see some of the property.
Yep.
Or sit down on the grass and watch the band for a little bit.
If you're out at night, I love to see. We've driven by there quite a few times, and people have their lights shining on the bricks, trying to find one, and I love to see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're at the drive-in or something.
So please, you're more than welcome to come do all that stuff. But no, the parking lot's going to be a little busy because we have a little system where
for 1 hour and hundreds, it's going to be a little bit busy. But we are a well-oiled engine, and it moves very quickly.
Yeah. So
it really does.
If you want to learn more about everything we just talked talked about and more, visit the Historical Society's website, roswellnmhistory.org. There is the reservations up yet?
They're
on the website.
We've been selling. Thank you very much.
So you can reserve your tickets for the Heritage Dinner here right now, today. Deadline again is August 8th, which again we'd really like if you just do it by the 8th.
Please.
So do that. And then of course it's going to be August 25th, Thursday evening, 5:30 to 6:30. You'll come through to get your tickets at the Historical Society. Then you'll take them over to the Peppers parking lot, which is about 2 blocks down from the Historical Society.
Very close.
And then you'll pick up your meals there. Again, very efficient. Drive through, boom, boom. They've got people ready. And when you hand them tickets, they hand you bags of food. It's really that quick.
But consider buying bundles and paying it forward, or like you said, quite a few groups will deliver the whole bundle, and they're eating in the backyard. We've had really cool picnics and fun things that they've done.
And if you want to do that, show us your party. While you're there that night, go home and take pics and put it on our Facebook wall or something.
Share it on Facebook and Instagram. We've had some great pictures. Some continuous followers and from the Mary Hales, Rick and Mary Hale, they were, and whether you're in your pajamas, it's a lot of fun. Dress up your table and have fun with it and share that.
Maybe we start a hashtag, like #How I'm Heritageing or something. I don't know.
But it'll
something
be
short
fun.
and sweet.
Yes,
but yeah,
we want
get
to
something.
see that. And we want to see you sharing or blessing your neighbors or having a neighborhood watch party or fun things like that.
Absolutely. Yep. But again, 25th of August, we're a little over a month away from that event. I know it's coming up quick here. August 8th, RSVP. You can RSVP by going to the website, again, roswellnmhistory.org. You can always call the Historical Society, 575-622-8333. Or if you have any questions or reservations, shoot an email, history director at outlook.com, and that's Amy's email address. She gets all of her stuff there. So any one of those 3 methods will get you in the right direction. And of course, if you're a Facebooker and you just put a message, hey, I heard about tickets, I want tickets, how do I get tickets? Someone will say,
that's right.
Here's how you get tickets.
We'll help you out.
That's right. That's right. And while I'm thinking about it, the archives facility is renting a lot. It's booming.
Good.
Yeah.
We're renting and moving. So if you need an event, a meeting, those kinds of things, make sure and call us for more information about that.
It seats about 75 people, I think, is with the fire marshal sign
That's
is
right.
or
We
something
have
like
all
that.
the tables and chairs and a little kitchenette.
It's got full, a little kitchen there if you need to cook. I mean, maybe not Thanksgiving dinner, but you can cook meals in there.
We literally have had people with meetings that literally brought the food, and that's all. I mean, we've got the tables and chairs, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's ready to go, nice, clean, great facility.
And by the way, it's got cool decor, historic photos, and
that's right.
Some of our volunteers do a good job of changing up what's in the display box there.
Thank you, ladies.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah.
All the Marys and Mary Ann, Mary Lou, and Elaine. Thank you, ladies. They do a great job.
They do.
And if you'd like to join them, please volunteer.
That's
Reach out,
right.
volunteer. They always look for more folks. They're getting tired of carrying stuff.
I'd hate
down,
to see if I was in charge of that, what that would look like.
It'd be interesting. It's fun. Hey,
Step into my office. You're fired.
He's like, why is that label crooked?
yes.
Is there anything we missed that we wanted to cover and we just spaced on?
We just appreciate the support of everybody. At the end of the day, we couldn't do this. And we're one of a kind. We're so unique doing what we're doing, how we're doing it. And we are a nonprofit, and we just need help. And we do, more importantly than just us, we partner and think it's, we love to work with others too. It's not always just.
We've got so many positive people that really bring blessings to our facility, our property every day. And Amy helps as a conduit for that. And we can have fun. Like
Life's
I said,
too short.
we do appreciate it.
So at the end of the day, we want to bring sunshine, and we can have fun.
Right.
We can work hard. We're hard workers. I'm proud to say that. We work hard, but we have fun and we do great things.
Yeah.
All partnering together with amazing people.
It's all about the the mission statement and preserving that history and allowing the next generations to have it.
And the little ones. We have fun with little ones. Even Jason. Jason's always bringing his daughter.
Yeah.
But I mean, with kids,
That's the endorsement of the commercial.
I love to see our board members coming with their kids, and they want to come.
Sure.
That's what I love. That's the thing. It's not they're not being made to come. They're wanting to come.
And then some are
learn and
shy,
have
but
fun.
they feel like it's a warm, friendly place, and then
Yes,
it
yes,
becomes a fun go-to.
Well, and if you think about it, especially with young kids, it's full of things that they've never seen
Never
before
seen,
Sure.
no.
or never
And
heard
you'll
of.
never
And-
Well, a lot of
see
adults
all of
haven't
it.
seen a lot of that stuff.
Exactly too, but
That's
but when they
right,
go in
that's
there and they
right.
see something like, "What is that thing?" It's like that's a hair dryer, and you're like, "What?"
What?
And that was how they dried hair.
Yes.
It looks
back
like
in
it's
that
from
time.
Back to the Future.
And I
Yeah.
love to see the light bulbs coming on because
Yeah.
once those kids that say they're not into history realize
Everything's history.
yes.
You're living it right this
that's
second.
that perfect moment.
When they see that 2,000-pound cell phone that's sitting on the second floor,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by the
yes.
way, whenever you open your Facebook page and you share that thing, it says from 7 years ago, memories from that's history.
And I do want to mention one thing. In 2016, we honored the 1956 Lions Honda Little League World Series champions.
Yes.
Tommy Jordan was just interviewed by KOA TV.
Okay.
So on July the 15th, watch any news segment on KOA TV, and you'll see a little segment from Tommy Jordan.
Oh, nice.
He was part of that Little
We
League
got a
Series
chance to
team.
talk with him.
Shout out
He's
to
a-
Tommy Jordan, and
yeah.
not just Tommy. We have other locals, Jimmy
Yeah.
Valdez, but shout out to Tommy. His legacy and his father. So thank you, Tom.
Thanks to Amy, I was very lucky enough to talk to some of those folks back when we were honoring the baseball team, and they called in. I think one or two even came
Oh,
in.
yeah.
And we talked to them here on the show
Yes,
and
yes.
got some stories.
Those
and-
are great
yeah.
moments. So
Yeah. So July 15th?
July the 15th on
KOAT.
KOAT.
On their news, I guess.
Yes, that's right. Their
segment.
news segments.
Probably
for
the 10
lunch
o'clock
and
in the-
evening. That's right.
Okay.
So tune in.
I think usually the news networks like to debut those kind of things on like the 10 o'clock news, and then they'll
Right.
re-air it like the morning the next
Just
day. That's
tune in.
for ratings, I think. But anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you.
As
Thank
always,
you.
We'll
We
see you here.
appreciate you.
We'll see you here next time.
All right.
Have a
Sounds
great
good.
one.
Probably later today. It is.